there's never been a beef with me and Jon. You know, we have this weird dynamic, and Jon is the greatest of all time. Jon knows where we stand and what we got going on, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Is there any chance that he fights again?
I don't know. That's up to him. He likes to talk about it, but actually getting a fight booked is a whole nother ball.
Dana millions of dollars over the years, and he's made me millions of dollars over the years. And so it's not always about how you feel about a person. It's just like, can we still work together? Can we still do business together? And I feel like we're always going to be able to make money together. And so, will I be invited to his house on Christmas? Probably not. But the guy changed my life, and he is a homie for life. And despite how he feels about me, I'm always going to give him that respect. I just keep the door open. I'm still in the UFC's drug testing pool. I get drug tested, blood tested all the time. The door is open.
If he's still in the drug testing pool, that's crazy. That means he hasn't officially retired.
We saw you called Dana White the homie. How would you describe your relationship with Dana these days? I know you guys have the online back and forths, but behind the scenes, how would you describe the relationship?
I feel like in order to do big business, you can't hold grudges. You gotta be able to let bygones be bygones. You have to be able to work with people that you don't love. And I've made Dana millions of dollars over the years, and he's made me millions of dollars over the years. And so it's not always about how you feel about a person.
When Jon Jones cornered Gable Steveson at International Fight Week, something stirred in the former champion. Now, as the atmosphere of Fight Week and the financial opportunities on the table linger in his mind, he admits that he's caught the itch to compete again, driven by a desire to test himself against the best.
From what I'm seeing there, he will regret this day. He's only 39 years old. Yeah, he had an incredible career. He ran roughshod over the light heavyweight division for generations, and he beat Cyril Gane to become the undisputed heavyweight champ. And yeah, he defended against Stipe Miocic. Stipe's the man, not going to say anything bad, but we know he was at the end of his career and he never fought again. Well, now there was a whole line of young, hungry, in their prime contenders. And Jon Jones knows that. And he's got that itch. He's got that scratch. He doesn't want to sit on the sidelines and not use his abilities, his skills. And he's been around it with Gable Steveson recently. And he's like, you know what? Oh my God.
There was a time when Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall felt like the fight that had to happen. Michael Bisping saw it as a massive opportunity, one that, for whatever reason, never materialized. Now Aspinall is locked in with Cyril Gane, and Jones is left looking elsewhere.
Okay, yes, we've got Tom Aspinall as the undisputed champion, and that's the fight that we all want to see. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. But that's not the fight that can take place. He says more, and I'll play it in a second, but that fight can't happen right now. It should have happened. He was offered $30 million and he walked away. We know this. But right now, Tom Aspinall's in the middle of another rivalry, and that's with Cyril Gane. We know about the eye pokes. Apparently, Tom is completely cleared now, okay? Which is wonderful news. And I cannot wait for Tom to come back and fight Cyril Gane, who just put a beat down on Alex Pereira. Now, Alex Pereira's offered another side quest. He's trying to get Herb Dean fired from the sport. He's getting people to sign petitions. He's blaming Herb Dean for Michelle Pereira getting cut from the US.
Timing, as always, is everything in this sport. Michael Bisping has watched the heavyweight division evolve around Jon Jones. Now, as Jones considers his next move, he notes that the Aspinall fight was a massive missed opportunity earlier, but Aspinall is occupied with Cyril Gane, leaving Pereira as a highly likely and exciting blockbuster option. If Jones overlooks Pereira or waits too long, he could find himself without a dance partner worthy of his return.
Alex Pereira would be the man that I would put him against. Yes, there's Josh Hockett. Yes, there's Tom. Yes, there's Cyril Gane. But those guys have got to fight. And if they fight in the meantime and the UFC offer him a fight, I guarantee it'll be Alex Pereira versus against, well, there is Josh Hockett. There's him out there. But Alex Pereira versus Jon Jones, that would still be absolutely gigantic. And that's the kind of fight that he said he wanted. Yes, he should have fought Tom Aspinall. And it's just crazy that he didn't do that. It does nothing for my legacy and all that kind of stuff. Tom pursued that fight for the longest time. But as I say, now he's...
Jon Jones has been linked to a boxing match with Alexander Usyk, but the heavyweight champion quickly shut down that speculation. Now, as the boxing world wonders if he'd ever step into the squared circle, he insists that he's no boxer and doesn't consider Usyk to be a complete fighter, adding that the world knows what would happen if they were locked in the same room.
would you be interested in that Alexander Usyk boxing match if it's presented to you?
No, not at all. Usyk is Usyk, man. He's one of the absolute goats of boxing, of heavyweight boxing. I also am aware that he does wrestling, and that wrestling has been a heavy part of his training for many years. It's probably why he's so dominant in the clinch. If he'd like to test his total combat skills, I would oblige him in that. But to handicap myself by only using my hands, I mean, that's not the world that I come from. So out of all of the heavyweight boxers, I do see Usyk having the highest potential in making it competitive.
Jon Jones's retirement status remains up in the air, and with him still in the drug testing pool, the door to a comeback is technically still open. The only question now is whether the UFC actually offers him a fight and if he decides to accept it. Between his repeated flip-flops over the last year and his ongoing physical challenges, there's still plenty of uncertainty around what's really next for the former champion. Let us know in the comments what you think is next for Jones, a return or a final retirement for good. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a like, subscribe for more fight coverage like this, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a breakdown when the big news drops.